magical story, but in a very different way to Harry Potter. You're entering a world that runs according to its own peculiar magical laws.
J.K. Rowling is a British author and philanthropist better known by her pen name. She wrote the Harry Potter children's fantasy series, which ran from 1997 to 2007. The series has been tremendously popular, selling over 500 million copies worldwide, has been translated into at least 70 languages, and spawned a global media empire that includes films and video games. Her first novel for adults, The Casual Vacancy, was published in 2012. As Robert Galbraith, she writes Cormoran Strike, an ongoing criminal fiction series. In 1990, while waiting on a delayed train, she had the idea for the Harry Potter characters. Following her mother's death from multiple sclerosis, which had a profound effect on Rowling and her work, Rowling gave birth to her first child and divorced her first husband.
There are so many Christmas stories out there, and I wanted to do something different. And I always felt that unless I had the right idea, I wouldn't write a Christmas story.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. Her full name is Joanne Rowling, but is better known as J.K. She was born July 31st, 1965 in Yate, Gloucestershire, England, making her 56 at the time of this production. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall. J.K. has used her wealth and power to support a wide number of philanthropic causes and charities. She established the Volant Charitable Trust in 2001, which uses its considerable budget to help fight childhood poverty. She's involved in several other poverty and social inequality charities, along with charities that work to help fight multiple sclerosis. Notably, she demanded that Coca-Cola, who won the product tie-in race for their film series, donate $18 million to the American charity Reading is Fundamental and other community programs. She's the founder of the Anne Rowling Regenerative Neurology Clinic at the University of Edinburgh. Named for her mother, who suffered from multiple sclerosis, J.K. funded the clinic with an initial $16 million donation. To date, she's personally donated at least $150 million to charity. Rowling married Portuguese television journalist Jorge Arantes in 1992 and had a child, Jessica, on July 27, 1993 in Portugal. The couple separated in November of 1993, and Rowling and her daughter moved to Edinburgh, Scotland. J.K. was a self-described, broke, struggling single mother on welfare the entire time she worked on the first Harry Potter installment. During this period, she struggled with depression and contemplated suicide. She married anesthetist David Murray in 2001, and the couple has 2 children, along with Jessica from her previous marriage. They live in Edinburgh, London, and Aberfeldy, Scotland. Rowling's mother, Anne, lost her 10-year battle with multiple sclerosis in December 1990. Anne's death heavily influenced J.K.'s writing, and she channeled her grief by diving into the character of Harry Potter and how he dealt with loss.
Made his world seem a little less stable, and that too is a big theme in the story, what being lost means.
Joanne, J.K. Rowling, was born in Yate, Gloucestershire, England. Growing up, she would write fantasy short fiction stories and read them to her sister Diane. She has stated that her childhood years were unhappy, citing a strained relationship with her father and her mother's ongoing health battles with multiple sclerosis. She has said that she based the character of Hermione Granger off herself at the age of 11. After J.K. graduated from the University of Exeter, where she studied French and the classics, she moved to Porto, Portugal to become an English teacher. Rowling was working as a secretary and researcher for Amnesty International in 1990 when she dreamed up the idea for her first novel about a boy who finds out he's a wizard and attends nearby wizardry school during a delayed train trip from Manchester to London. As soon as she got back to her flat in Clapham Junction, she began to write it. She finished her first novel in 1995 titled Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, retitled as Sorcerer's Stone in the United States. She nabbed a literary agent, submitted to 12 publishing houses, and was met with a resounding rejection from each one. A year later, Bloomsbury Publishing gave her the green light and a £1,500 advance. Bloomsbury's chairman had given his 8-year-old daughter the first chapter of the book to review, and her response was to eagerly demand the rest immediately, thus cementing the decision to go forward with the book. Rowling was soon given a grant from the Scottish Arts Council to write the second book. With an initial print run of just 1,000 copies, some of which went straight to libraries, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in June 1997. The sleeper novel eventually began to win awards and gain attention, and in 1998, Scholastic Inc. won the rights in an auction to publish the novel. Scholastic published the book in 1998 in the U.S. under the altered title of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, a decision which Rowling now admits disagreeing with and regrets saying yes to the change. The first installment of the series would turn out to be the first in an eventual series of 7 books and the beginning of a major literary, film, and licensing industry. As the Harry Potter books gained popularity around the world, they broke literary sales records. The last 2, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, sold 9 and 11 million copies respectively within 24 hours of their releases. The books have now been translated into 65 languages around the world, published at a time where readership in children was declining and young adults were said to be abandoning books at a rapid rate in favor of the booming internet. The series was a turning point in rekindling an interest in reading among the youth.
We sit down and talk about this, and I realised that half the books fold without those creatures. You know, they're so important.
J.K. Rowling is one of the wealthiest private citizens in the United Kingdom and the first author in the world to achieve a net worth of $1 billion. It should be noted that J.K. is extremely private about her personal finances and has denied being a billionaire. That might be possible if she has secretly donated a large portion of her wealth to charity. For the record, it's known that she's donated at least $150 million to charity to date. As you probably know, she earned fame and fortune for writing the Harry Potter fantasy series, which have sold 500 million copies since debuting in 1997. The book spawned a multi-billion-dollar film, merchandise, and theme park empire. In a given year, J.K. earns, on average, $50 to $100 million from her various endeavors. Between June 2018 and June 2019, she earned $90 million. She wrote the first book as an unemployed single mother living on welfare. J.K.'s net worth is estimated to be $1 billion. Edinburgh home, $3.5 million. The house was built in the 19th century. It stands in the garden, so in summer, children of the writer, there are 3 of them, her daughter from her first marriage and a son and daughter from her second marriage, can walk there and have some rest under the tall trees. The mansion has 2 stories. Tasmania Mansion, $10.7 million. The house is also the sample of architecture of the 19th century. It has 7 bedrooms, several living rooms, and 3 bathrooms. There's a farm around the house and several additional buildings on its territory. The house is situated at the riverbank. Cars you'll find in J.K.'s garage include a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and a Range Rover. A Porsche 911. A Ferrari. A Mustang Shelby.